Far off the northeast coast of Madagascar lies the Saya de Malha Bank. It rises from the deep sea floor to shallow depths, creating a unique ecosystem of marine life in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
It's distinctly shallow. This is the largest plateau in the world in terms of ocean plateaus. And in some places, it's as shallow as 10 meters. What that means is that sunlight can reach the floor. So it's almost like a beachfront flush with sunlight and lots of creatures. That's the Saya de Malha.
The seagrass that grows here is one of the world's most effective carbon sinks. The plant captures carbon up to 30 times faster than terrestrial forests, and the Saya de Malha is the world's largest known seagrass field, for now. Its days may be numbered. For the past decade, industrial fishing fleets chasing diminishing fish stocks have been plying the bank's rich waters, pulling up tons of sea life and mowing down the sea floor.
This is a really destructive form of fishing, very common in this area. It's destructive because it's indiscriminate. So it's grabbing everything in its path, and that means you're catching lots of bycatch or species that you weren't intending to consume or sell. Turtles, birds, sharks, whales, what have you. Bottom trawling in particular is destructive because it's on the bottom of the ocean. It's dragging a net across the seafloor, which is essentially like putting a cable between two Humvees and driving across the Amazon and sort of knocking down everything in your path.
The trawlers, mainly from Sri Lanka and Thailand, are delivering crushing blows to this delicate ecosystem. The bank lies in mostly international waters in the Indian Ocean, administered by the small island nation of Mauritius, 900 kilometers to the south, which cannot police this vast stretch of ocean the size of Switzerland. It makes the Saya de Malha an attractive target. But it's not just the trawlers gobbling up everything in sight.
So the Taiwanese fleet that's there are Taiwanese tuna longliners primarily. They're largely on the outskirts of the Saya de Malha where the water gets deeper, so the edges of the plateau where tuna are more likely to be found. Tuna, as you know, is a very high-priced target because a lot of types of tuna are already collapsed. They've disappeared in many other places in the world. And the Saya de Malha is a place where there's a huge flow of tuna in that area. But because it's so far historically, other fleets haven't gone there, but the Taiwanese are now.
But tuna aren't all that the Taiwanese boats are bringing up.
The Saya de Malha has an unusual concentration of sharks. The attraction for fishers, for fishing fleets of sharks, is their fin. Their fin sells mostly to be used for shark fin soup. And so if you're targeting tuna, you can change your line in a small way and catch both tuna and shark. So it's pretty easy adjustment to make, and you can bump up your revenue. So you're seeing a fair number of sharks being pulled onto Taiwanese vessels as well. And Taiwan, Hong Kong, China are the biggest markets for these fins.
The extent to which Taiwan's tuna fleets are harvesting shark fins isn't fully known. What is known is that shark populations are under increasing pressure globally, with many species threatened. And while human beings may have an aversion to sharks, they fill a critical niche in the health of the ocean.
They're the police of the sort of food triangle, and they keep everything in check because they're apex predators and they eat everything below them. And so when they're gone, certain players below them can emerge to fill the void and then sort of knock everything out of whack. And you can see very rapid collapse of other kinds of species because things get out of balance. You lose the top apex predator and the entire habitat can fall apart.
Taiwan has banned shark finning, which usually involves slicing the fins off live fish before dumping them overboard to a slow, helpless death. The practice remains profitable enough to make the occasional surprise port inspection worth the risk. And buying or selling the fins is legal. Restaurants openly advertise shark fin, popular in part because its high price carries prestige. Sharks are just one variable in a complex equation. Their removal hastens a collapse. Somewhere along the chain, a massive store of carbon is released from a vast field of dead seagrass. Without a cultural shift or effective regulation, human appetites will continue to leave lasting scars on the biosphere, perhaps irreversibly. Patrick Chen and Jonathan Kaplan for TaiwanPlus.